Hello my colorful cotton balls, the 8th and final skin for the time being is about to be released, but I'm showing it to you now because I am allowed to. And I think this one is really sweet and a lot of you will be looking forward to buying it, pun totally not intended. The Candy Factory, aka the Banana Farm skin. Let me show you how sweet it is, starting with the 00 upgrade. Note that this time I've changed up the sandbox mode a bit so that it now actually goes up in rounds instead of being stuck at round 1 the whole time, reason being the so-called projectiles for the Banana Farm has changed as well for this skin, the first of its kind to do so, even more reason to get it I guess. Anyways, the rounds going up will allow the candy tree/factory to spit out little sweets, which you can see right here. Pretty cool I gotta say. I'm talking about the candies of course, as for the tree itself I think it's alright, but sometimes I think too much detail isn't so much of a good thing. For a game like this simple patterns like the original Banana Farmer might look better. Next up is the 10, the difference between the two is pretty minimal except for the fact the tree grows in size, so unlike some of the previous skins, at least this one is consistent and clear enough to tell the upgrades apart. Okay, moving on to the banana plantation we see that it follows in the original farm's footsteps with those 4 tiny trees, much like the original plantation. So, I know we're barely 1.5 minutes in, but I think it's a good time to take a bit of an intermission now. I went a little further by going through 5 boomerang skins before the intermission last time, but since the 01 and 02 upgrades for the Banana Farm are the same, we only have 7 skins to go through instead of 9, that is why I'm doing it slightly early today. So let's check some more shit off our bucket list. First thing is there's something a little different on this sandbox/practice mode, can you tell what it is? Hint, it has nothing to do gameplay-wise and I've fiddled with it before. Fuck it, here's the answer. Notice how the top right corner says player, when before 4.4 it used to say practice mode, or whatever shit you wanted to change the name to. Well here's the thing, I never modded the game to change the name to player. Nor did Ninja Kiwi change the .jet file to set it to player, it still says practice mode, so what's the deal? The only possible answer then would be Ninja Kiwi hard-coded the practice mode name to player which you can't change in the data.jet file anymore. If you try changing the same thing you used in the previous patch, the name will still say player no matter what. And that's confusing to me cause why on earth would Ninja Kiwi want to change something as harmless as that? I highly doubt such a change was made by accident. This makes even less sense than not being able to pre-place towers, honestly. I require a rational explanation from Ninja Kiwi on why modifying a practice mode name was detrimental to the game, cause I'm struggling to think of one myself. Next thing you know they'll patch up modding altogether. Kappa. I can't imagine the outrage if that actually happened. Anyways, intermission over. If I have more things to talk about I'll do it at the end of this skin showcase. Time to see how the Candy Republic looks like. Not too bad if you ask me, but again I do think too much detail on this one is a bit of a turnoff for me, to each their own though. Moving on to the Candy Factory now, and that's quite interesting and totally unexpected. I never would have guessed it to look like that or spit out crates with sweet labels on it. All jokes aside, the design of this is quite simple so that's good to hear. My only gripe would be that the color scheme makes it look a little awkward. I mean, chocolate-covered roof, red and white striped chimneys and pink walls, that's quite the variety we have there, but if you ask me I don't think they mesh very well together. Let's see if the bank upgrades will be able to wow me away. This is the 3rd-tier bank, now transformed into a candy shop, that's what I like to see. This upgrade is probably my favorite skin out of the bunch. The design isn't too complicated and the color scheme isn't half as bad as the Candy Factory. I rate 9 out of 10. Lastly, we have the Banana Investments Advisory, or should I say Candy Investments. I'm not sure exactly what this chocolate structure is supposed to be. It looks like a chocolate castle or something, and what looks like steps leading up to the entrance here, who knows. Pretty decent looking though, can't go wrong with these, although you won't be seeing these very often, seeing as not many people go banks, at least not at the moment. I hear a bank meta is starting to pick steam, so maybe it not being used won't be a problem come the near future. And that is the end of this banana farm skin showcase. How do you like these candy-themed skins? Make a comment down below and share your thoughts. Personally, I think this is a pretty decent skin. It's got its upsides and downsides, but at the end of the day it really depends on your personal preference when deciding to purchase it or not, as well as how often you use farms. That is all. I do have one more thing to talk about before ending this, and that is a Q&A. The last one I did was around 8 months ago, and it went pretty poorly, mostly because a lot of the questions asked were stupid meme ones, as well as the overused basic questions I answered multiple times before, all that led to only a few interesting questions I had to work with. So this time I am going to impose some rules that I hope you will follow, otherwise I will ignore it straight. Don't ask joke questions and dumb shit involving basement children or comma regrow reds. That stuff I'm keeping to myself. And ask something insightful. I know that's a pretty vague rule, but here, take a look at the previous Q&A videos and see if it was answered before asking a basic question. You can find them by searching ISAB Q&A in the search bar, or I'll just link in the description to make your life easier. So yeah. Feel free to leave a comment if you wish, cause I need some filler commentary in some future videos. Let's get this one to 3,000 likes. Have a sweet day.